Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Teen Shallot, and today we're gonna be talking about a what if that you guys all love. Today we're talking about what if Deku had Abranium Part 5. Yeah guys, we're down, we're getting it together. We're going into the part 5 of this series. Wait, yes, part 5. Now, I really love all the support you, my fans, my Z Warriors have showed me in this series. So, I am going to be giving you fan service for today. Yes, fan service. And you all know what fan service means, don't you? We're talking about ships. I'm going to be giving you the ships. So today, guys, we're going to be taking place after the USJ attack. Where does Deku have the guts to ask out Momo? Or does Bakugo have the guts to go ask out any other girl himself? Let us begin our story today. Going down from the sky, we see that there is Bakugo sitting next to the hospital ward. Deku is there, unconscious, bloodied and beaten from using that much energy and fighting. Bakugo does not know what to say. This guy he bullied for so long, defended him, helped him, even said he forgave him. Something he thought he'd never hear in his life. Momo was in there, crying on his bedside, thinking he might have actually died. Deku then got up, and he said, am I okay? And then he sees Momo just sleeping there on his lap while he was resting on the bed. And he says to himself, what a cutie. I'm gonna have to go ask her out. It's one of these days. You know what? Not one of these. I'm gonna ask her out tomorrow. We both need something to get ourselves back in the spirit. And I'll set up a date with Bakugo. So, Deku got up and he decided, alright guys, it's time for me to start getting ready. So he got ready, he changed. Momo woke up and saw him shirtless. And she got a slight nosebleed because Deku is just muscular, guys. This man's just ripped. 8-pack, I'm telling you. You guys saw him at the beginning of the anime after the 10 months. Think of that, but doubled. And you getting like a pretty buff Deku. Strong Deku, guys. This man's stronger than Shoji right now. Especially with his bones hardened from Abranium, the 3 types of strongest metals on the planet. We're lucky it wasn't not an alien metal. Otherwise, none of us would be alive right now. That's for sure. So, I decided to now give you guys more fan service. So Deku arrives home and he says, alright, look, guys, we all need to party. So I'm gonna invite you to All Might's house and we're gonna party. And everybody cheered at this. As I was like, is that how they're gonna spend the 3 weeks? I'm like, Dad, come on, man. We all just got attacked. We all need some space. Alright, you do whatever you want, Deku, but make sure you're ready for the sports festival in 3 weeks. Understood. So, for that one whole week, they partied like crazy. Going to every single hero's house. Sometimes it was 2 houses a day. And then first they went to All Might's. All Might supported this and they give a whole full party and everything. Snacks, invited everybody. Then they did this for the whole week. All they did was party, and now their whole spirits were gained. They were all positive and filled with energy and ready to practice. Deku decides he's gonna go out, ask out Momo, and he doesn't know how to do it. So he asks the next close thing he has to a friend, All Might and Bakugo. He calls them in, and he asks them how to ask out a girl. Now they were both surprised at this. They saw how confident Deku was, but here they were today, looking at the most vulnerable person they've ever seen before. Most vulnerable version of this Deku. They've never seen him act this way. So they decided they would help him out. They told him like, look kid, this was all my talking. Who are you going out with? And he said, Momo Yazarozu. That is a girl match made in heaven. I support this. And he went plus ultra, and so did Bakugo. And All Might went into his buff state. And by now, Bakugo knows he has a buff state, but he does not really know about One for All. So it's time. So they started planning. And guys, I'm gonna throw. So then Momo also likes him. She goes to her friends and asks for advice. And they give her some advice. Mina helps out the most, because she has the most experience with this kind of thing. So does every other girl. And so does Midnight and all the other teachers. And then they start helping her out, and the other teachers help him out. And they're all gonna definitely spy on them, guys. Definitely spy on them. So they decided to set them up. So Deku, this is what Deku's wearing. In 3, 2, 1, bam, picture's there. That's what he's wearing to the dinner night. And now here's Momo walking down the street to the dinner night as well, accompanied by everyone. And she says, this is how she looks. 3, 2, 1, bam. This is how she looks. That's what she's wearing. And they're like, damn, they look like angels walking down that street. They arrive at the dinner. Deku arrives first, and he's trying to calm his nerves. And there's an earpiece in his ear, and it's every guy saying, calm down, Deku. You can do this. We believe in you. You can do this. And this is all like that one funny episode, where that whole mishaps and things happen. So Momo's arriving a little bit late, and Deku decides he might order some drinks. And then when the drinks arrive, in comes Momo, and he gets a nosebleed. He starts bleeding, and then he's like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna die. I can now die happy. And he says this, and then everybody in the airplane is like, no, Deku, stop, no. You still need to live, alright? And then his mom comes on to them, and she's like, I need grandchildren. And then Deku's like, well, and then he starts about to faint. And then a waiter comes out of nowhere and accidentally throws water on Deku's face. And then he looks up and he sees Ida? And then Ida walks away. Deku goes, washes his hands, fixes and dries himself off. And then he sees Momo sitting. And then when she turns around, she sees him. He's like, she starts nosebleeding and starts fainting. And she says, I can die happy now. And then everybody's saying, no. And then Inko comes in again. And she says, I need grandbabies. And then she's about to faint. And then out of nowhere comes a waiter, throws water on her face, and she goes to dry up. And Deku just waits outside the washroom because he knows what happened. And he saw Ida throwing water on her face. Though he felt pretty guilty about it, he decided, might as well. So he goes, and he sees that, okay, it's time now. So he walks to his table, and they both sit down. And he's like, are you okay, Momo? He's like, yeah, are you okay? And Deku right now is internally screaming, telling himself not to screw this up. And everybody in the earpiece is like, calm down. And then All Might in the group start walking forward, and then they see Midnight in the group. And they're like, damn, she has support too. Let's work together. They shake out hands and they start working together and telling them what to do. Deku's had enough, he's like he wants to talk normally. Instead of sitting there in awkward silence, he takes it off and says, Momo, take off your earpiece too. And they're like, what? Yeah, take it off. And he crushes in his hand and she crushes hers. And then, actually, yeah, she says, Deku says, give me yours. And then he crushes both of them. And she's asking, what are you doing? Well, what do you think I'm doing? I'm destroying them. I don't need those people help. I only need you. And you and your beautiful face and beautiful emotions and beautiful side and your very smart part of you. That's all I need. Not your body. I only care about how you look and about how, not look. I only care about how you feel, what you're feeling. If you don't like me, I'm okay with that. It's just that, unlike everybody else, I will be that guy. I will be that person that will be there for you because I love you. And he said this all standing up really loudly. And Momo is blushing like crazy. Deku didn't actually destroy the earpieces. He just put them in his pocket where there was an extra set. And everybody in the restaurant went wild. They started yelling, clapping, cheering really loudly. And they said, kiss her, kiss her, kiss her. And then Deku went forward and said, Momo, will you kiss me, my beautiful woman? And then she said, of course. And they went both together very close, and they did a seductive French kiss for 5 minutes. And everybody was just cheering and clapping the whole time. And then they sat down, and then they got a whole 8-course meal. I don't even know what 8-course meal is, guys. So bear with me with this one. So they said it's all on the house. Some mysterious man paid for it. And Deku knew exactly who it was. It was Aizawa. Aizawa, and you're like, what, Aizawa? Yeah, man. Deku went to Aizawa first to tell him before he told All Might and Bakugo. And he said, I got you. So, because in this one, Aizawa was pretty chill with this kind of thing. You know, he has that father-son relationship with Deku. So they're all good with that part. And then they decide to just book it. When they're done, they leave and they run. And nobody else can follow them. Deku destroys the remaining earpiece and says, now we're alone. And he's carrying her bride style towards the beach. And he says, look at this beautiful beach. Don't you think it is? Beautiful as well? Yes, it sure is, Momo says. Well, I know this may sound cheesy, but the sun in the sky, when I look into it, I feel like I'll be just dragged inside, feeling the warmth around me. And I feel the same thing when I look in your eyes. I look at you, I look in your eyes, and I feel this big pool of light, this star in my life, that when I go through, when I go close, I'll be filled with the biggest warmth in my life. And I knew at that moment that I loved you. And Momo was a bit tearing up right now. Nobody had ever said these kinds of kind words for her. They always went after her because of how she looked, not because of how she felt or some other aspects of her body. And he said, oh, Deku, Izuku Midoriya, I love you too. Your smile is like the sun to me. When you smile, you have the brightest smile in the room. It's so cute, so innocent. Is that when I look at it, I feel like everything is going to be fine. I feel like I have filled with new hope for the day. You may want to be the symbol of peace, but for me, you will always be a symbol of hope and love. And they both passionately kissed on the beach sitting next to each other. And that is... and then they both checked the time. It was 10 p.m. They're like, wow, we've been out here for a long time. At least 1 a.m. actually. It's 1 a.m. because they went at nighttime. And the sun was rising. So I think it was 5 a.m. Yeah, you know what? Let's just say they went in the afternoon and the sun was setting down. So he brought her home and they sat down. And then he left and he went back home. And they both slept soundly that day, imagining themselves and waiting for the next time they could see their faces. They arrived the next day and they were very open about their love. They both called themselves Zuku or Momo, you know, instead of Yaoyorozu or Midoriya. She even called him Deku sometimes. And he's like, oh man, this girl, she's gonna kill me with her love one day. And, you know, every time he would be around Momo, he'd be a bit flustered, but he would get eased into the relationship. And for the 2 weeks, both him and Momo surprisingly trained together. They always were together, just there. And they just trained, no matter what. They ate, they were together. They slept. Okay, not they slept, but if they trained, if they flew, if they ran. So Deku introduced her to his training regimen. He told her, you're going to need this if you want to meet me in the finals. I have faith in you, but I just want to make sure that you will win. So Deku goes and buys weighted clothing for her. She starts wearing weighted clothing, and they both start doing exercises, practicing martial arts. Basically, instead of martial arts, he's teaching her hand-to-hand combat, at least advanced or intermediate, so she at least knows how to fight during situations and he also taught her how to use weapons while she's fighting, to create weapons on the fly. So he made her study a lot about weapons themselves. So she created guns. So sometimes she could just go down and then create a gun with ammo already in it and shoot it. Something like that. But right now she can only create like a old-time Western revolver. Something like that. Or powdered gun. Very hard to load. She also learned how to minimize the amount of fat that she's using, so to maximize the amount of material she can make or use to make something. Overall, Momo is doing really well. So is Deku. He has a new piece of sunshine, a new motivation to become a hero in his life. And now she has a harder motivation to become the #1 hero as well. Better than Bakugo. She knows she may not be able to get there, but she believes, Deku believes that she can at least be #2 or max it out and go #1, aim for the moon. But we all know, because Deku has one for all. And right now he can use at least 20 to 25%. Not that much of an increase, at least like 5 or 10%. But if it was the anime, that would have been a lot. But right now it's not, because he did 15 months in like 3 years. So I think that is a lot. So let's give him 20. Yeah, he can use 15, but 20 right now. So Bakugo also trained with them from time to time. He decided I might as well train because they're both really strong, so they can help me out. And you know what? In the last week, let's just say that he invited the whole class and they all started training together in hand-to-hand and how to use their quirks better. So by the end of the 3 weeks, when they come in, they see battle-hardened faces. I was the most surprised, but he knew that Deku brought everybody in and made sure that they were able to get past it and able to go for gold. So he arrived. They arrived at the arena. And then it was a big announcement. It was the R-rated hero. And Deku saw a lot of lust in everybody else's eyes for her. He went up on the stage when he was called for representatives. And he said, all you beep men who look at my mother or my auntie, you ever look at her like that again, I will rip out your vocal cords, stuff them in your face, rip out your organs, place them across the walls. And he started talking about how graphic, he's talking about a lot of graphic things of what he would do. Think of Carnage, and then think of Deku, of what he would do if they try to go make a move on his mom, or his auntie, if that's what you want to call her, Auntie Midnight. And then a lot of people in the crowd started barfing a lot because of how graphic he was being. And then every single stare looking at him was in fear. And he said, all right, now that that's done with, here's my speech. To all kids who are going for the sports festival, and all of you out there, he said there very specifically, and you, League of Villains, Shigaraki, I want you to know that I'm going to be the next #1 hero. And by my side will be Creati and Ground Zero. They will be my teammates. We are the next big three. We are the next big people. The next ones who are going to take you down. We are UA. And my name is All-Star. The next #1 hero. Thank you. And he drops the mic and leaves the podium. Everybody started cheering. Every villain got scared when they heard what he was gonna do if they looked at his mom. Well, when they found out the threat that he just put out there, everybody knew that Deku's gonna become a target now. And anybody knew, he knows. Because he just threatened every single villain that they know of what he's gonna do and how he's gonna be the next #1 hero and destroy them. So he went back down the stage. A lot of kids kind of booed at him, but then he said, shut up. If you guys can't handle a bit of a threat like that, then you guys should have just packed up and leave. UA is for people with a strong will and people who can handle pressure. If you can't handle that, then you aren't meant or supposed to be a hero. Now, beep off. And then he left. And then he just sat there at the podium. And then he started meditating. And then Midnight says, all right, after that big speech, thank you, Midoriya, we will now be picking what we're going to be doing first. So she does the wheel and says, let's see what's going to happen first. First thing you start off is the race. And then they do the race, damn it. And then they said, all right, get to the starting line. And 3, 2, 1, start. Everybody tried going through first, but then, Bakugo, Momo, and the whole class of Class 1A stayed at the back while Todoroki freezed everybody. Deku was able to convince Todoroki a bit to use his fire side, so we're gonna see a bit more of that action. Now, I know this part has been long, so I'm just gonna end it here. Now, if you guys ever want me to do like a half-hour video special of this Abranium, heroic, what if about me, or American Deku, if you want me to do a half-hour special of that, of course I can always do that. I just want you to know it's a hell of a lot at editing, of adding the music, the pictures, the text. Actually, you know what? I'm a bit kind of a lazy guy, so yeah. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. This is Teen Shallot, out of here.